Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to all things EFL, the Championship, League One, League Two, and the National League. And of course, I couldn't do this alone. So guess who's back? Back again. Now Jill's have finally got a win. It's Scoops. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are you, mate?
Your timing, honestly, was brilliant.
Yeah, I just was making clear. I didn't actually hide. I just want to make that clear. Everybody
All
thinks,
right.
yeah, they lost, so he hid away. I actually have been away, so I decided to make that clear. And then I just couldn't be bothered when we lost to Culture. It was that bad.
Are you okay, though?
Yeah, all good. Just getting over COVID, so we're doing pretty well.
And Nick, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Mind you, I'm a bit worried about tonight. I had a week away last week, and it was absolute carnage, wasn't it? So, see how tonight goes.
I know. I'm kind of being put in my place now. Like I'm blaming it on Ant and Claire. I think they were the bad influences, but I'm going to be on my best behaviour tonight.
Good to hear.
But someone who's never on his best behaviour, and to be fair, it's been a long time coming, but we have been joined by Ecxoes. How are you?
Fat, depressed, and fat. In that order.
I love it. And we have got everyone in the chat tonight. We have got Claire. Sorry, Claire. She is saying good evening. We have Ryan in the chat as well.
We're a tiny club. Who is Ryan? Who's this Ryan bloke? We're going to fall out already. Literally been going 3 minutes. I'm already falling out with someone. Usually it's Nick.
It's one of our regular scoops. He's been on more times than you.
Oh.
I'm joking. So, should we talk some football? Best said, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Should we start with League One? There was only a couple of games in League One due to international duty this weekend. So, Exeter 1, Leyton Orient 2. I weren't expecting that result. Were you guys? Scoops?
No, not at all. Yeah, Leyton Orient's a massive result for them, especially I think they went 1-0 down as well. So they turned it around, especially with the Leyton Orient side. They've pretty much struggled in their season back in League One, so it's a great result for them. Like I said, at the beginning of the day, Exeter were leading. Has Ecxoes got your cast yet? No, he's not. No, not yet. Give it a couple of minutes though. Obviously, just after half time, Exeter took the lead, and it was kind of like one of those ones where it's like, well, they'll go on from here. But then Joe Pickett scored as well. Jordan Graham, great to see him tearing up the wings with Leyton Orient. A perfect signing for him, especially in League Two. And then they nicked it in the 92nd minute for a 2-1 win and a big away win as well in Devon. I think I got that right. I think I got my geography right there, haven't I?
Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, I think you're okay.
That's it.
Just don't get the cream teas mixed up.
That's it. That's a geography A level coming out there. That massive E that I got there. But yeah, it's a massive result for Leyton Orient. They needed that, especially after a couple of bad defeats as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. And just from an Exeter point of view as well, they've been doing really well this season, haven't they? Had some really good results. Quite unexpected as well, in my opinion. What do you make of Exeter this season, Nick? Shocking,
No, not really. They've always been quite a solid side, especially at home. And like you say, it was quite a surprise result that Orient needed. But Exeter were struggling because I think they had 2 players out on international duty, a couple of injuries, and they had a 16-year-old, Jake Richards, making his debut. So obviously they haven't got the biggest squad, and that will tell after a while. But yeah, it's a great win for Orient. And one of the players they brought in we had him for a while until he got injured, was Brandon Cooper from Swansea, and he's a top class defender, and he will steady that side up a bit. So I would imagine he made quite a big difference. So yeah, I mean it's a great win for Orient, which obviously they needed. And hopefully, for them, they can now sort of settle into it and move forward on there.
Yeah, definitely. And Ecxoes as well. Leyton Orient, obviously, familiar faces from League Two last season. Do you reckon they will be safe this season, or do you reckon they're one of the favourites to go down?
I think they'll be okay. There's far worse teams in that division than Leyton Orient, to be honest. Cheltenham, Fleetwood, Burton, three teams nailed on to go down. Plus, I do think the likes of Northampton will get dragged back into it, and
I hope so.
Carlisle, you know.
I love that little comment. I hope so.
Yeah, well, I just like there's one Northampton fan that's now who comes into my streams, and he's just ruined anything. I just hate Northampton now because of him.
Does he come in this one too?
Yeah, Sean might do actually. Does
Yeah.
pop in, so if he does pop in,
He's gonna miss that.
He's gonna miss that.
I know.
yeah, he'll
I'm
clip it.
gutted.
Poor
I'm
Sean.
gutted he's missed it. And obviously, the only other game in League One: Stevenage 2, Carlisle 2. What do you make of that, Scoops, for Stevenage? Obviously, they've gone top now, haven't they? You're familiar with their manager. What do you make of them?
To be fair, he's one of those ones, isn't he?
He is his dad.
Yeah, that's what I.
He
that's
feels
what I make,
mine.
That's why I look at my. I try and put my build on his way. You know. Stevie Evans, fat and ugly, as we used to chant at Gillingham when he was our manager as well, which is even worse. Yeah, 2-2 draw. It was a great result for Carlisle. Carlisle have had a difficult start this season, haven't they? In League One, I thought I had them as one of those ones that were going to have a half decent season in League One, but they just struggled to get started. And but 90th minute Joe Garner goal, still scoring goals at this level, takes the points back to Cumbria, and it's a great point for them as well against the Stevenage side, which actually put this result, even with a draw, puts them top of the table at this moment. And who would have said after 7 games Stevenage would be top of League One? I certainly didn't, but you know what Steve Evans does? He makes the side really difficult to play against.
It's horrible.
It is. It's ranked.
Disgusting, minging, long throws, balls in the box from miles
Chuck
out.
the big lads in there,
Yeah.
just throw their weights around a bit. You know, that's it. But the thing is, though, it's like, who was the example we gave? Steve Evans is very similar to like Derek Adams, isn't he? You hate him unless he's managing your club. And to be fair, when he was managing Gillingham, I thought, yeah, he's doing a good job. He got us to 2 top 10 finishes in League One with a very small budget. He'd done a good job. And even now he's not managing Gills, I don't actually have a massive issue with him. I think he did an all right job for us. Yeah, we sacked him because we struggled, but you know, he's a good EFL manager, isn't he? Maybe not Championship. He's a good League 2, League 1 manager, isn't he?
Are you regretting sacking him now? Because
no,
you got relegated anyway.
Yeah, but also as well, Neil Harris nearly performed miracles by keeping us up. It went down to the last day of the season when Harris took over. We were bottom on something ridiculous. He nearly did the miracle of actually keeping us in League One. Obviously, we had a difficult start of last season, but we forget about that. We forget about last season, don't we, Charles? And
I forget about every season recently.
But you know, I don't regret it at all. I don't think he was. It was a difficult one for him that first half because he just didn't have the money. Just didn't have the money that first half that season because of the COVID.
Yeah, I listened to Steve Evans on a podcast the other day with I can't remember who was the presenter, but Sam Parkin was on it as well. He used to play for us and he's been around a bit. And it quite surprised me actually. Steve Evans taught really, really well. He's you know, like you said, he knows how to manage a team and get the best out of a bunch of players, and the sort of thing. Talking about his background and how he runs a club and runs a team and brings players in, and yeah, I was quite impressed with it actually, surprisingly enough, because he's not always been Swindon's favourite manager, and we've had a few clashes with him in the past. I think we give him the nickname the Slug, so he certainly wasn't one who was welcome at our ground. But the funny thing is, you're talking about his method of play. You know, throw the ball into the box. Well, that 90th minute goal they conceded was from a corner straight to the far post and headed in. I mean, he must have been absolutely steaming after that, conceding a goal like that for them. So I can imagine he was throwing a few cups around it full time because it was a really bad goal to give away from a Stevenage point of view.
Yeah, definitely. Just throwing it out there as well, like they are top at the minute, and this can be to anyone this question. Do you reckon they will be up there come the end of the season? Or do you think they will struggle? No.
No way. Not a chance.
No. Scoops?
Sorry. It's funny. She had on the back of the Can you feel the love tonight? Not at all. And, you know, it's one of those ones where it's like... I think you could put them down as a dark horse for the playoffs. I honestly think you could, like as a dark horse outside of playoffs, if they keep it going. What are you waving at?
It's okay. She'll text me later.
Oh, it's for this. Oh, sorry. It's standard practice. Nice shower, Mrs. Scoops. I think she did, yeah. But yeah, no, it's one of those ones where they potentially could be a dark horse. You know, I can see that potentially.
I mean, we said that all last season in League Two that they wouldn't stay near the top of the league. And look what happened. So
I just think there's more quality teams in League One that'll just they might scrape in the playoffs, but I can't.
Yeah,
it won't be anywhere near automatic.
You wouldn't think so, but say with a big fella in charge, you never know, do you? So it'll be interesting anyway.
I can tell you now, if he gets it, he'll come straight back down. If it gets into the Championship.
Oh yeah. The gulf between League One and the Championship, unless you're one of those big teams, is massive, absolutely huge.
Yeah, you need a shed load of money, don't you?
Yeah.
100% agree. I just want to give a shout out to Sonny because I've just been asked. So shout out to Sonny.
There you go. I've just noticed as well we've got a Wrexham fan in the chat.
We have got a Wrexham fan.
Can we ban the Wrexham fan, please?
No, I was going to say actually no. I was going to be a bit more friendly to him and actually say, how does he think their season have started as well? I want to see that in the chat. I want to see his comments about how he thinks Wrexham's season's going so far.
How's it been being a Wrexham fan for a year and a half?
Yeah. But you're welcome back anytime, Alid.
I know. Any fans are welcome in here. That's why we've got Ecxoes in. I'm joking.
Claire, you can't say that about Steve Evans.
Just to confirm, I'm only on because nobody else replied. So.
Do you know what makes me laugh though? I will give you due, right? Scoops only comes on when Gillingham win. You have just sacked your manager. You're near the bottom of the table, and you've come on. So fair play to you.
It's not just you, but I stopped streaming for 3 weeks. I was that depressed about Tranmere.
Oh, that was literally me last season, but I think you'll turn it around 100%.
We'll be fine.
You will.
We'll talk about that.
We will. We have got. There we go.
Love it, Alid. Thank you.
Been a fan since 2009. How was the 1-0 loss?
I've been a fan since 1987.
Yeah, but that's because you're an old bastard. Sorry,
I am an old bastard.
Stop myself. Did he stop myself there?
I mean,
sorry.
That's a bit harsh. I'm not the oldest on the panel. I hope.
No, not by any means.
Otherwise, Nick's had a terrible paper round.
I had a heavy paper round.
You're off in Swindon, to be honest. It's a lot of roundabouts.
I know. Well, what we've been through, even this season, it ages you every week. So, it's a wonder I've got any hair at all left, let alone grey.
Oh, bless you.
You're still not as grey as Scoops, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Fine, fair enough.
Just looking at the League One table, which I believe is wrong now because Reading, how inconsiderate. Have they had a 3 points deduction, did you say, guys?
Yeah. And they got that deduction just for being Reading. No other reason. Just
for being Reading.
There you go.
But there, obviously, we have Stevenage. After their point, they are top of the league. We have Bolton then in second on 13 points, and we have Exeter City, Port Vale, Portsmouth, and Cambridge making up the playoffs. And I don't know about the bottom anymore. Now Reading have been deducted points. I don't know the goal difference.
21st. No.
Have Wigan gone up then?
Yeah, they have. I'll just point out on the League One table, that League One table does not look anywhere near as strong as it has for the last few years.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Now, when you think of the teams that went up, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday, and who was the other one that went up? Plymouth. Yeah. Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday, you don't need to say much about them, but Plymouth were a strong League One side as well. And you look there, you still got Charlton, who are a big club, and Portsmouth and Derby, but there's nothing massively screams huge mega club.
No.
Can we talk about just quickly how Michael Appleton's still stealing a living and got the Charlton job as well?
Jesus, what a fraud. We discussed this for years on the Football League Lowdown. Yeah. What an absolute fraud of a man. I just don't get it. I mean, he could jump into a bath of shit and come out sucking his... just find a pot of gold at the bottom. I don't get it. Why does anyone employ him? He does absolutely nothing anywhere he goes.
Do you know what, as well? We actually have Graham, who's a Charlton fan, in the chat, so it'd be really interesting to find out whether he was happy with that appointment or not. So please pop up, Graham, wherever you are.
He's had more jobs than Ron Jeremy.
Oh God.
Got a lot of people in the chat as well. Plymouth are
Only here for
massive.
Echo's insightful comments. Yes.
I know.
GW's in.
Always. Should we move on to League Two now?
Come on then.
Oh, your favourite league. So, first of all, we have Bradford 1, Grimsby 1. What were you expecting from that game? I reckon. I didn't really know which way it would go, to be honest. Could have gone either way.
I thought Grimsby were unlucky not to win that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was the early kickoff on Sky, wasn't it, on Saturday, because obviously the international break. I thought Grimsby looked really good. Again, they looked solid at the back, and it was just pretty much a good finish by I think it was Gillingham who got the goal for Bradford. But they didn't really create a massive amount. It was just literally it was a good strike, went through a crowd of people, and they managed to nick a point there. But
bring a comment up.
Yeah, go on. Here's my thing with Mark Upton. His nose looks like the one in the Oxford. Jeez. Oh, Harry.
Oh, man. Funny. Accrington Stanley 0, Mansfield Town 3. Nick, was you expecting that one? They're pretty strong at the minute, Mansfield, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're going really well. I mean, that's one of the teams that I can see will probably or should improve on last season. In the way they're going at the moment, they're definitely going to get playoffs, and it's whether they can get a top 3 spot. So they'd be one of the teams I'll be worried about facing at the moment. So I think they seem to settle down a bit and playing some decent football. So yeah, I think they're going to be really strong throughout the season.
100% agree. Claire's just mentioned as well Mansfield's 3rd goal. I've not actually seen it. Have any of you guys seen it?
It's a cracker.
Was it?
Mansfield are always strong in this division.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cracking goal.
We have got AFC Wimbledon 1, Stockport County 2.
Whoa, Stockport win. Yo.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, yeah.
I was kind of hoping Stockport would lose because we'd sack Dave Challoner and he could come back to Tranmere.
That's not a bad shout, actually. That'd be a quality appointment if that was the case.
He's always I mean, there's still rumours he might.
Mate, there's rumours going around that Gillingham were going to sack Harris if we lost on Saturday. Which, if that had happened, I would have just burnt every shirt in me.
That's just daft. I mean, we'll get to Tranmere in a bit, but you know.
Just in the chat as well before, obviously, we move on. I'm totally joking, Claire. I knew the appointment was coming. Pretty underwhelmed, to be honest, but got to support him at the start. Given our owners and their entourage, we're not going to get a top manager, sadly. Just a yes man. That's sad, isn't it, for Charlton?
That's a good point, Graham. He is just a yes man.
Not just a yes, but he's just a fraud. He's like the Sam Bankman-Fried of football.
Oh, funny. Anyway, Claire has actually sent me some notes on the Stockport game, which she wants me to read out. So I will read it word for word.
I'm just gonna go get a chair before you start.
No problem.
We'll get a drink as well.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm going to admit, though, I'm going to struggle with a few of these names because I cannot pronounce them, especially my awful accent as well. They are big words. I'm not used to big words. I can only just read. Yeah, so she's put, League Two's big boys finally showed some promise on Saturday, coming from behind to beat previously unbeaten Wimbledon. A 32nd minute, Davison got very lucky, given the real Dons opener against a run of play. Nick Powell once again showed he got a football brain larger than the whole town of Gillingham combined.
Whoa.
Disproving Scoot's theory, they are massive.
I don't really know where Claire's getting most of this from because considering we went to Stockport 1-1-0, you know, I'm just gonna.
I can't remember where I am now. He did, however, bring himself down to the small team's level with some silly balls played off the side of his foot. Claire was absolutely delighted that despite being a goal down, League Two's favourite team in blue and white kept going and the lads didn't put their heads down. They fought and kept going. In the 50th minute, the lightning pace of Isaac, I can't say his name.
That's a funny surname, though.
It is, yeah.
Is it Tanitolawobla?
We can make a whole section out of you pronouncing names.
He didn't throw one, did he? Didn't throw a wobbler? No.
I know. We'll call it, yeah.
Did he have a bowler?
No, he's better now, thanks.
Better than that.
Well, that guy anyway caught the Dons' defence napping, and he slipped the ball to Louis Barry, who slotted home for his 4th goal in as many games. County continued on the attack despite former Stockport boys Ryan Johnson and Jimmy Ball doing their best to stop them. Only 12 minutes after their leveller, William Guy Collar hit home from close range, giving the beautiful Hatters their 2nd win of the season. Stockport County are notoriously slow start in their season and have been for the last few years. They decided to give everyone else a chance before hitting the ground running. Watch out, you lot. The mighty County are on the up. What do you guys think of that?
Well, all I'm going to say is Graham commented saying, balanced and unbiased report, I see there. Yes, she writes for the Daily Mail. That's all I can say.
Or the Guardian. That's balanced.
Or the Guardian, yeah.
First.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Because I forgot you had a subscription with the Daily Mail.
No, I don't. I've got my subscription's for the Telegraph and the Financial Times. You know this.
Yeah, sorry.
What are we all thinking of Stockport then? Do you think obviously it was a blip and it is a slow start and they will come stronger, or do you reckon they'll struggle this season?
Nah, they'll be fine. They started slowly last season as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, they did. Yeah, to be fair,
they got a decent player in Louis Barry.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not a League Two player, is he? He's a cheat code for League Two, isn't he? He is.
Yeah. I mean, we had him for a while on loan, and he goes in and out of games, and it's probably why he hasn't gone any higher. He's not consistent enough. But when he's on song, he's a real good player.
Definitely. Just in the chat as well. Stockport have come a long way considering Niall Bell and Darren Stevenson were playing up top just a few seasons back. What do we make of AFC Wimbledon then, guys? Obviously, we've said about Stockport. What do you reckon about AFC Wimbledon?
They'll be around at the mid-table, upper end of the, they'll have a decent season.
Well, they struggled last year, didn't they? But they didn't. I wouldn't say I was massively impressed with their transfer window in the
No, I wasn't either.
And I think it's still Johnny Jackson. I still don't rate him as a manager. I reckon Graham could back that up as well. It's I don't think he's a fantastic manager at this level. So, they probably should be doing better. They probably should do better than they will be. I reckon it's going to be another similar finish to last year, around about 18th, 17th or something like that.
Definitely. There's a lot of people in the chat, obviously, mentioning Stockport. I still think they'll go up in a mix of promotion. Yeah, Craig still thinks they'll go up as well. They usually get a slow start and did predict that they would get a top spot before the season started, but Swindon have performed better than I thought.
Here you go.
Claire.
There you go. Claire's coming for you now, Ecxoes. Mate. She's not throwing it. She's throwing punches everywhere.
But there's a sentimental with Dave Chandler. Our budget isn't that small either, and we're a bigger club than Stockport.
Oh,
it's not. There's no arguments. We are a bigger club.
I'm just waiting for Claire's comeback.
But the only reason. But I do agree. The only reason he would go is if he's not appreciated where he is and sentimentality. He's always wanted the Tranmere job because he came right the way through Tranmere's ranks.
Kappa's just said, why would he leave Stockport for Tranmere?
Just repeat what you just said, Ecxoes, if you can, mate.
I don't know the sunshine, the Sunshine Peninsula. It's just beautiful.
All those oil refineries, all that stuff.
Oh, I know he played for Stockport, but he came right the way through Tranmere for years and years.
Oh,
but everybody wants to go to Wrexham. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, who wants to go there? Jeez.
No, I wouldn't go to Wrexham.
The Mersey, yes.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't get out of bed for Paul Mullen's wages.
Oh, that's Ellesmere's Port. Sorry, Silk. Sorry. I've not been past Peterborough, so I can't really comment on these places.
Barrow and Morecambe was postponed because of Morecambe's players. Some of them were on international duty.
I just thought nobody wanted to watch it.
I know. Honestly, when I read what
postponed because of apathy.
They didn't want to just watch it. They didn't want to play it either.
Yeah.
The players like, no fancy this one today.
Then we have Colchester 2, Tranmere Rovers 0. So do you know what we'll do for this? We will let you have your moment right now.
Okay, I was glad we lost. on Saturday. And I'm glad we lost in the manner we did, because it meant they had no choice but to sack that just failed buffoon of a PE teacher. If you go and look at the announcements of him being manager, 99% of the comments say, "What the fuck?" I mean, you look at mine.
I think I put something like that, and I'm not even a tram-mate, and I was like,
it's
what?
bizarre to give him the money to go out and bring in some of the players he brought in, and then to play them completely out of position. It's like, have you seen the film Final Destination?
Oh
Yeah.
God!
You see the way at the very start they see he imagines the plane blowing up in the sky, and he gets off the plane. Well, basically, Mark Pallias has had that premonition and went, "I'll stay on the plane anyway," because everyone could see it happening. Everybody in the football world could see what an absolute failure, a miserable. He looks like Droopy the dog's failed ball bag as well on the TV.
God.
He's just absolutely awful, and he didn't need to be there. He should never have been given the job. Nobody wanted him, and Jesus wept. It was an utterly bizarre appointment, especially when there was some of the caliber of the managers that were in for the job. There was some amazing managers in for the job, and they chose a guy who'd been the assistant to 3 failed managers. It's just beggars belief. It's just even if you look at all the Tranmere forums and speak to any Tranmere fan, they're like, "We just don't get it. We just don't understand." It's just madness. He was playing our best attacking midfield at left back. What I mean, someone just
well, so let's talk about who's next then. Who's going to take the job? Who's going to be the next manager?
Well, Atkins has got it at the moment, temporarily. I don't know if he does well. Maybe they might give it to Atkins, but there's the talk about Brian Barry Murphy again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Darryl Clark. I'd like to see Darryl Clark get it, actually.
Yeah, that'd be a good appointment in the league.
I like Darryl Clark. Yeah. And there's a few of those hanging around. I mean, someone mentioned John McGreal, but again, I'd rather
he's
shave myself with a cheese grater and put my face in vinegar. You know,
nice.
He's another ex-Tranmere. You see, the problem is that they get all these ex-Tranmere players linked, and you think none of them are any good.
Sol Campbell.
Yeah, Sol Campbell. I know someone mentioned Darren Moore, but there's no way we're paying Darren Moore. He left Buddy Chefware because he wouldn't pay him enough.
Why don't you get Keith Hill back?
I think I'd rather fall down the stairs.
You'd rather make your own final destination.
Yeah, I'd rather stay on that plane. See, the problem for Keith Hill was, A, he'd come from Bolton, and we hate Bolton. And B, even after about 5-6 games, it was during COVID, and there was no fans in the ground. And he said the fans were fickle. There was nobody in the ground. Who are you talking about? The fans are fickle. I'll give you fickle, you fucking. Sorry.
Lisa thinks Nigel will be a great choice.
I like Nigel Adkins. The problem is I don't think he wants it.
Yeah.
He is ex-Tranmere as well. He was a Tranmere player. The problem is Mark Pallias is useless at appointing managers.
Yeah.
He's just terrible at it. He's appointed one good manager since he's been there, and that was Mickey Mellon.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same as what Alan said. Luke Garrett would be a good appointment.
Well, there's talk about Mike Williamson from Gateshead.
That'd be a decent appointment.
Really?
Mike Williamson's done a brilliant job at Gateshead. I know we had a Gateshead fan.
Someone mentioned Paul Cook from Chesterfield, but Chesterfield is doing well.
Doing all right, aren't you?
Well, again, another ex-Tranmere player.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paul Cook is. I think Paul Cook. You look at one of those managers. I think his EFL career's done now. I think, he's been all over the place.
You'd think that about Michael Atherton, and he keeps getting jobs.
Yeah, but he's still. I don't know how old Paul Cook is. He's quite old now, isn't he? He looks.
He's not that old. He must be mid-50s, maybe.
Yeah.
He was playing when I was young.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Jesus, yeah. Christ, I'm 97 now. Hang on. Let's have a look this up now. Paul Cook.
82.
Paul Cook from the punk rock band The Sex Pistols.
Yep.
He is 56. There you go.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think he's one of those ones where he's probably getting towards the end of his EFL career in management, isn't he?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, and Claire said about losing his daughter, and you're right. Yeah, hopefully it is. I would love the Cowleys.
Danny Cowleys would do a good job.
I would love Danny Cowley, but the problem is...
I think he's hanging around south, I think, to be honest with you. So
Palios is very...
He's Essex-based, isn't he?
Palios is very, very hands-on and gets involved in everything. And it's whether the Cowleys would want him chiming in their ear every 2 seconds about different players and transfers and formations. But anyway, apologies. I did swear. I didn't use the C word. And I haven't said anything about refs.
Well done. Just onto the game as well. Obviously, we've talked about the sacking. The game as well. How was it?
Oh, we were abysmal. It was like...
Yeah.
We made them look like prime Brazil.
Yeah, but we did that the week before, to be fair.
Yeah. but we did it in such a shocking manner that I think they had 47 shots on goal. And only the goalkeeper kept us in it. In fact, one of the few things Ian Dawes did right was bring in the goalkeeper, who is absolutely fantastic. What a player. But he came from Forest Green, so he's slightly tainted.
That's vegan sausage rolls.
Yeah.
Silk has put in the chat as well. Do you not think it's sad that players these days would rather retire than drop down the league? Tranmere had loads of ex-Everton and Liverpool players when Aldridge was there, but players' egos are too big now, I think.
Well, this is something that Troy Deeney said, wasn't it, this week? He said in an interview, he said, I don't understand why more players don't want to drop down to a lower level and actually enjoy the last couple of years of his career, even though that Forest Green got battered 4-1 this week with Troy Deeney there. I completely agree. I don't think, but there is money in lower league now, isn't there? There's money in lower league. There's money in non-league as well. So
I get what he's saying, but there's an example. Tranmere, when they had all these ex-Everton Liverpool players, were in the Championship. And there's the story of Sean. When Tranmere signed Sean Teal from Aston Villa, they give him more money than he was on at Aston Villa. And that's when we were loaded. So it's slightly different. To be honest, I'd rather not have ex-Everton players at the moment. Jesus, it make us worse.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have Damari Gray on our wings, sorry.
He's not there. He's in Saudi Arabia now.
I know.
He is.
He chose Saudi over the Sunshine Peninsula. That's what he did.
What do you reckon's going to happen then with Tranmere? Do you reckon they'll be on the up soon? Do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll finish mid-table. We'll be fine. The squad itself is pretty good. I mean, you look at it. They've got Luke Norris and Christian
I don't know why you keep rating him. I don't know why you keep talking about him.
When he played, he was brilliant. He held the ball up. He scored
I don't know why you keep talking about it. I think Nick can agree with me here that Luke Norris he's more off than he is on.
But listen, he's been injured, but he's been brilliant. Connor Jennings has been fantastic. I love Connor Jennings. He's probably my favourite footballer. Probably a favourite footballer in the last 15 years, 20 years for Tranmere.
Echoes every night before he goes to bed. He looks at his Connor Jennings poster and goes, when I grow up, I want to be just like him.
I do. But no, I love Connor. We still got Josh Hawkes there. We've got a good back. The two centre backs are brilliant for this level. We got quite a few good players. Kieran Morris. It's just Dawes was a clown. I think the players are actually completely down tools. They've just given up. They just couldn't listen to that melted waxwork of. He looked like he looked like Prince Charles having a shite.
Oh my God! Do you ever think to yourself, like, what am I going to describe tonight? Like,
have you ever seen Prince Charles have a shite? That's what I'm intrigued to know now.
I can't. Official Secrets Act. I can't tell you.
Do you know what? I don't even want to know.
I have met royalty.
How did that go?
It went all right. They're my distant cousins. So.
Nice. Love it. Oh, I've got my giggles now. Moving on, we have Crawley Town 4, Newport County 1.
Newport's are going down, aren't they?
Go on, Nick. Nick, are you muted?
I know.
I can't hear you, Nick, for some reason.
How's that?
Yeah, there you go, mate.
That's
yeah,
better.
Sure.
It sounded like you fell down the stairs.
I thought something like fell off there. Like, it was all
No, just
up the
unplugged
place.
it. You know, the usual thing: unplug it and plug it back in. So it
That's
usually
all right.
works. Yeah, Crawley, after getting battered by us, to come back and win 4-1, and I saw a few of the highlights. In again, they looked decent actually. Newport seemed to have one good week and one bad week, so I don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, Crawley scored some decent goals from the little bits of the clips I saw, and had their shooting boots on. So that was a certainly good win after coming back from a bad defeat. We give our ex-manager, so fair play to them.
And the thing
Not
they're one of
often
those
I'd
ones,
say
aren't they,
that.
They're playing some good football, aren't they? As well, that's the thing. They're actually playing some decent passing football, and they're playing with the theory of shoot on sight as well.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
they're just
definitely
getting
are.
familiar, and it's working at the end. End of the day, so which is good. So everybody had Crawley down there to be one of the ones struggling this season, and I'm quite pleased to see that they're actually proving a lot of us wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely. From a Newport County perspective as well. I think they were one of us that in a preview show we said, didn't we? We thought they'd struggle, but they've done all right, haven't they, so far? But do you reckon they will struggle towards? Obviously, do you think they'll struggle for the rest of the season? Do you think they'll be able to get results mid-table team? What do we expect of Newport County?
I think they will struggle because you look at the teams that are out of position.
Yeah.
Below them, you know, Stockport, Salford, Forest Green, Tranmere. I don't know about Doncaster.
Bradford
in and around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think they'll struggle. Whether they go down or not, but I think they'll be struggling.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. I thought they'd be near the bottom of the league.
There's a lot of big sides in the bottom
completely.
half at the moment, isn't there? And I think that's why we need to probably look at League Two and think as a whole. It's such an up and down season this year for so many clubs. Like I know we got added in as well. Wrexham started really slowly, and you know they've won a couple of games on the trot, and now they find themselves 7th in the playoffs. You know, after 7 games, and that's the thing. It can change in over a couple of weeks. Like you said, if you look down the bottom half table below Newport. You know, Bradford realistically, Stockport, Salford, Forest Green, you've got Tranmere in there as well, and you've got the likes of Doncaster and Sutton, who Sutton usually are up towards the top end of the table. You know, I think Newport should be okay, but I think there are definitely worse sides in it. I can't look at those. That like last year, you looked at the league table and thought there's a couple of teams that you can write there and go, oh, they're going to be down the bottom.
Well,
Which ones are they?
And, you know,
I think
so I was thinking about what I was thinking was Hartlepool, Crawley, Rochdale, and said they're the ones down, aren't they? You were thinking about them, but I can't sit here and look at this table and go, apart from Harrogate Pony, you know, they're going to be ones that are struggling. You know, who's going to join them? It could be anyone.
But I think with the league this season, a lot of people said it's a real strong league, but I think it's a real even league. I think anybody in the bottom half can beat anybody in the top half.
Yeah.
So I think you could have teams swapping all over the place. I mean, we'll come on to the league table later, but Morecambe, they've got a game in hand. They win that in their 3rd, 4th. So it's crazy, the league at the moment. And you usually say you get an idea after 10 games, but I don't think we could have any idea at all after 15 games, 20 games maybe, on how the league's going to pan out, because it is, say, just so even, and anybody can beat anybody.
Well, ideally, Swindon, Wrexham, and MK Dons all go down.
No chance. No chance.
But you only 2 can go down, which is the unfortunate thing. So I've got to pick Wrexham and Swindon for me.
In the chat, Claire said Harrogate and Crawley to go down for her.
Yeah.
Really? Even though Crawley came back and drew 3-3 with you? That's all I'm going to say, Claire.
Kappa's expected Doncaster to do well, but they made quite a few signings, so maybe they are still gelling and getting used to McCann's way of playing.
Can I just say as well quickly, Charlotte,
Yeah,
you know I mentioned earlier about that Northampton fan that I absolutely despise.
Yeah.
Shawnee 28 is that guy in the chat. I literally just despise him. And that's the reason why I hate Northampton Town. Thank you very much.
But the reason I hate Swindon is because they're known as Swindle Town. to Tranmere, because Nick was probably at the game when we were winning to go up to the Premier League, and they turned the floodlights off after 70 minutes.
Probably because we hadn't paid the bill. No,
and then we had to replay it, and you guys went up and we didn't. And they replayed the whole game. It was like 70 minutes with 2-1 up, and they replayed the whole game, and Swindon won it.
And that's probably the worst thing that happened to us.
Yeah, and it was actually a couple of years before. It was when you were in the High Court, and they were going to relegate you or demote you, and the room.
Well, they did. When we got to the Prem.
And they're supposed to promote Tranmere in the place, and they didn't. They did some other chicanery.
Yeah.
So we're not like enamoured with Swindle.
But we've had some good games against you. Nice playoff victory when Hoddle was there.
Yeah, I was.
I was at Tranny for that. That was a decent game. So fair play to your supporters that night.
Yeah. Nobody hit you.
No, they were quite friendly actually.
They are unless you're playing Wrexham. Wrexham or Chester or Bolton. Or Bolton. Do you want to tell them the story about the Bolton?
No, let's not. Let's just leave that one there.
The Bolton story. I'll leave the Bolton story for another night. We're past the statute of limitations on it, so we're fine.
Forest Green 1, Crew Alexandra 4.
Does anybody just enjoy seeing that result on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about it? Well done, Crew.
Don't have to.
Well done, Crew.
Well done, Crew. Thank you for that. From everyone.
Yeah.
From every other EFL club. Thank you.
Gillingham 1, Harrogate Town.
Right, let me get my speech out.
He's going to tell us they're the new Arsenal.
Well, I was about to say, 1-0 to
Yeah.
There's only 1-0, Harris. So, anyway.
Jesus.
Anyway, yeah, that was bad. Apologies for that one. If everyone wants to turn off now, I would recommend it. But yeah, no, it's do you know what? We were awful. We were dreadful, and obviously we went coming back from 2 defeats on the trot, 3-0 defeat at home to Colchester, as well as a 2-0 defeat away at Grimsby. It was just a really poor performance. And then we followed it up with another really poor performance against Harrogate. You know, it wasn't that we were under pressure by Harrogate. Can't be a long story for saying they got a late fluky goal. Yeah, okay. 1-0 Gillingham at Stockport. Ha, ha, ha. But yeah, we were poor. Like, we had a lot of shots. I think our first shot on target was the goal in the 95th minute. From Sean Williams from about a 3-yard screamer into the bottom corner. And the Rainmen went mad. And that put Gillingham, because the results went away, that put Gillingham back to the top of the table.
And that's why Scoots is back.
And that's why I'm back. Is Bond still playing well? Apparently he played okay, but it's just like he just didn't have any outlet. He was playing up top by himself. And that's what we're missing. We're just missing an outlet up top. That's all it is. We're just, we're solid at the back. Shadrach Ogie is probably going to be one. He's going to be potentially, if we win this league, he's going to be League 2 player of the season. He's that good at this level. And it was good to see actually a change up in Max Amer being dropped and Connor Marston coming in as well. So he had a Connor Marston and OG back too in the middle of the park, which was good. So just gave us a bit more, we were just a bit more solid. So, it's a 1-0 win, another 1-0 win. That's 5 wins, all 1-0.
It doesn't matter.
We're massive.
Yeah, you win 25 games, 1-0, you go up.
As Sir Alex Ferguson said, attackers win your games, defenders win your titles. Thank you very much. Good night.
I thought it was Oi Beck and you prick as a boot.
But yeah, no, cracking win, and we got Morecambe at home on Saturday. So that's going to be, if anybody is going to put that on their accumulator this weekend, do not, because Morecambe scored 6, conceded 6. Gillingham scored 5, conceded 5. So it's going to be a 0-0 draw. So if anyone wants to put a 0-0 draw under 0.5, do it.
I got to watch
that.
That'll
probably be 3 each, Scoops.
It probably will be. Yeah, I'm going as well. So, I haven't seen the news yet this year. Just that's about it clear.
I'd say you could do with seeing some goals.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get a bit boring, to be fair. Get the Sudoku out, get a cup of tea out, bit of cake.
Are you going to it?
Yeah, I'm going this weekend, yeah.
What are you reckoning?
What's that this weekend?
Do you reckon you can do it? Do you reckon you can get the win?
I just hope we have a bit of, we're just a bit more up top. Just that's that's all I want. We've shown that potential. We smashed Southampton 3-1 in the cup. That's the most goals we've scored in one game against Southampton, and we scored 2 against Luton at Luton in the cup as well. But we can't score against League Two clubs. So it's just hopefully we can do it.
I hope so, for your sake and for next week's sake. If you want to see,
so we lose, I won't be back here. I won't.
What happens
everybody
if
in
it's
the
a draw?
Yeah. Everybody's going to sit here and go, let's hope we all can win.
The next games is obviously MK Dons 1, Notts County 1.
Fair.
Yeah, I couldn't really decide out of them. It would have gone either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, decent result for both sides.
Yeah.
I didn't think much of MK Dons when we played them, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, we actually should have. Funny enough, it was probably one of our best performances of the season away at MK Dons. It was 1-0 MK Dons, but we should have scored a few in the second half.
Was that first game of the season?
Second, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first game of the season, we lost to Barrow at home, and we didn't sack him immediately for that. For God's sake.
We have got next Salford City 1, Walsall 2. I like that.
I do. Well done, Walsall.
Should we just thank you all from all of us here and every EFL club? Thank you for being.
I forgot about Salford. Sometimes I just forget they exist, and I think most of the city does as well.
That's true. Honestly, it's like the crowds, everything. You just don't get. They don't get the fans and the support that obviously other clubs do. And I just feel like with Salford, there was that much of a hype, and because they've not really done much with it, and they've not really built on it, have they? They've not gone up. It's just kind of dwindled.
Well, they're an artificial team in an artificial, like Forest Green. They just don't belong where they are. They've been pumped full of money, and now the media's got its new plaything they've forgotten about.
Yeah,
but guarantee Salford versus Wrexham is on Sky twice this season.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, should think it is probably. Nice one, Walsall. Claire's put in the chat. I think everyone is so happy about that, aren't they? Next game, Swindon Town 5, Sutton United 3. Nick, you tell us about that game.
Just an absolute crazy game. I think we were 3-0 up after 20-something minutes. And I turned to my lad and said, how many do we need to feel safe? And then bang, it was 3-2. And you just worry every time. In the second goal they scored, I think we had 9 outfield players in our penalty area, and we still left somebody open who scored. So we're attacking. We've scored 20 goals this season, all from open play. Now that either means we're either playing really, really well, or we're just crap at corners and free kicks, because it's all open play. But going forward, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Say they got it back to 3-2. Both teams had 2 goals disallowed for offsides. I've only seen one back, which was the Charlie Austin one, which was really, really tight. Whether it was or not, it's really hard to say. And then, we went 4-2 up. Should have had a pen, not given. Straight from that, they go up the ending score to make it 4-3. And it's like, oh Christ, here we go again. It's another Wrexham type game. And then Hepburn Murphy, who come on, he's got tons of pace, tons of skill, real good player, scored a cracking goal to make it 5-3. And again, they put the board up, 8 minutes stoppage time. And my lad says, don't forget, Wrexham scored 2 goals in stoppage time. I say, shut up, will you? It was just that sort of game. So the big worry for Swindon is come January, our 2 best players at the moment are Dan Kemp from MK Dons and Jake Young from Bradford, both on loan. They will both get recalled without a doubt. Whether they want to play them in their respective teams doesn't matter. Apparently, we did try to buy both at the start of the season, but probably offered peanuts because we ain't got no money. even though we got, good crowds, expensive tickets, but apparently we've got no money. So that's the worry, that we lose those two players, and if we can't either get them one or the other back, or get replacements, we could struggle after January. So that's a concern for Town. The squad's not got decent enough cover.
I like Hepburn Murphy though. We had him on loan a number of years ago, and he was brilliant then.
Yeah, it's suffered a lot with injuries. He's he started the season. You'd expected to be the main starter with Austin. Got injured. Jake Young come in. He's on absolute fire. So he's coming off the bench, but he's got that much pace on him. It must worry defenders to death seeing him coming off the bench after 70 minutes of, chasing the other two, and then he comes on. And so, that's good for us. But, a couple of injuries and we're going to struggle. That's the problem. The squad's not, overall, the squad isn't good enough. The first 11, 12, 13 players, decent, but it could be a struggle. So, but it's good at the moment. So quite happy. 20 goals in, 11 conceded.
You're entertaining at least.
Yeah.
Yes, that all right. Doesn't do the whole heart much good, but
Is it a change from last season? Because obviously,
it is. It is. We're playing. I described it high risk football with high reward, and we've got the two wing backs are basically wingers. Two of the centre halves overlap. So, we've had our centre half right in the far corner of the opposition half. It's like, what the hell are you doing up there? So that's why it leaves us open in the middle. If it goes through the middle, and then we're in trouble. But, we've had more entertainment in that game Saturday than we did the whole of last season, basically.
Oh, who have you got next?
We've got Walsall next, who's obviously had that good win at Salford. So, that's a game could go either way. That's probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't drop points Saturday, but hopefully the attacking can be a little bit better than the defence. Hopefully.
Definitely. And obviously you've got that game in hand as well, haven't you?
Yeah, win that in. We'd be level with Gills. Oh, how about that? I know I'd rather have the points in the bag, as we have all say, but it's there to go for.
Oh, God. I'm glad it's getting better for you anyway this season, especially obviously after last season.
Oh, yeah, so, it was terrible.
Fingers crossed you can get a win on Saturday.
Yeah,
and then
all being well.
And then the last game we've got in League Two is Wrexham 2, Doncaster Rovers 1. I was expecting this, to be fair. They're just awful, aren't they, at the minute, Doncaster?
But I think we need to think about it as well. Like, Wrexham weren't great as well against Doncaster. I think, like I said, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where, like you said, but final third they were poor.
That's true.
I think we need to. There's that bit of that realization there that Wrexham haven't fully started yet. I still think defensively they're probably a bit weaker than they. You think the goals that they're conceding just for fun at the moment. So I think there's still a lot of time to go this season, but I still do think that Wrexham still got something to turn up on and something to prove, because I don't think they've been that good first 7 games.
I hate Wrexham, but they do well.
Well, see, I think when we did our preview show, didn't we, Shah? We both had them out as outside the playoffs this year, didn't we? Just outside, because we thought defensively they could be. Yeah,
definitely. And obviously there was that with the Mullen injury. Obviously he's come back now, hasn't he?
Paul Mullen will not be as good. Everyone thinks he's going to be amazing. He had one good season in the Football League. One. He was at Tranmere and was shite. He had one good season in the Football League and then went to play National League. It's not. And they're talking about him playing up front for Wales, and that's why Wales won't qualify for anything. But yeah, they have got a good squad. They'll be there around the playoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely agree. Just having a quick look at the table as well. We have Gillingham, who are top on 15 points. Second and third.
Get in there. Sorry. Sorry,
It's
everyone.
fine.
Sorry.
Second place, we have Notts County on 14 points. Mansfield just behind them on 13 points. Playoffs are MK Dons on 13 points. Swindon on 12 points, but do have that game in hand. Crewe Alexandra on 12 points and Wrexham as well, now with the last playoff spot on 12 points. Then in the relegation zone, at the bottom, we have Doncaster on 2 points. Just above them, we have Sutton. And just above the relegation zone, we have Tranmere on 3 points. National League. Go on, sorry, Scoops.
Yeah, I'm literally just about to say, if my camera and everything goes off at the moment, it feels like I'm just about to have an earthquake here. I don't know what's actually going to happen, but my microphone's falling off, my light's falling down.
Don't worry.
It's all going to pot. So I might.
Do not worry.
If it does this, it's like Nick with his headphones. I feel like everything's going to fall out in a minute. So just
Honestly,
don't look at Twitch chat.
Oh god. Oh yeah. I've seen that.
Tom said I'm jealous of Paul Moore. I'm not jealous of Paul Moore and Wrexham. I just didn't think he was very good. I did
He's
say
only had one good
right.
league season. He's only had one good EFL league season. And that was at Cambridge United.
And that was it. Yeah. You know, that's all I'm saying. He just hasn't. He's not been good in the
It's earthquake, and Steve Evans is about to fall over. God's sake, Harrier.
And it's just reminded me as well, they've actually signed Stephen Fletcher, haven't they? Wrexham. Very strange signing.
He won ahead of him, and that was it, wasn't it? Added.
Yeah. Aww.
I don't get the Stephen Fletcher signing because he's just.
Well, I think they'd get in a bit. I don't know, but the thing is, though, it's weird, isn't it? You look at them and go, "Oh, actually, they could do with some defenders." They go and sign another striker. It's just a Phil Parkinson thing to do, isn't it?
I know it's not like they're not scoring goals. And Stephen Fletcher's 36 now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was at Dundee last year, scored 9 goals and 33 appearances. I mean,
shows you how shit. I mean, it's rubbish. The Scottish Football League.
Yeah, I mean, I'd score 9 goals in Scotland. It's just an odd one. I mean, you could see what they needed to defend, a defender, but
it is a strange one. Moving on to obviously the National League now. AFC filed 0, Aldershot 2. Aldershot are doing really well at the minute. I always like seeing AFC filed lose as well.
Yeah, so everyone does.
I know.
Nobody likes filed.
I know.
The chairman's still in prison, isn't he, at the moment?
Is he still in prison, is he?
For another 13 years. Oh, no, that's Fleetwood's owner, isn't it?
Oh, that's Fleetwood, yeah.
They're all corrupt on that.
They are, yeah. No, nobody likes filed because they printed. Well, they got doped with a load of money, and they printed when they be in the Football League on the shirt as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the final.
And it was like 2020 or 2019, and they're still down, and they got relegated as well that season, which is brilliant.
Yeah, they got Rochdale legend Jim Bentley, didn't they? Your manager.
Yeah, they did. He's now at Southport, to be fair, right? And Southport hadn't won a game.
How's he
They've won the
getting a job?
last
He's another
3.
one.
Honestly, they've won the last 3 games, Southport. So I think at that level, he'll do all right. And to be fair to Jim Bentley, he took on the job for us when we were just like, he can't.
I have to laugh when you say it at that level.
Delivery driver.
Yeah, I do. I laugh when you say it at that level. They're a division below you.
No, I know. I mean, I think he's kind of found, obviously, his feet there at the minute. I think with Rochdale, all our fans thought we were going to get some big, managerial thing. It was never going to happen. He took us on when we were in a very, bad situation, obviously, and it just didn't happen for him. A likeable guy, he's a really nice guy, but yeah, it just wasn't the man for us. He just kind of took the job on when no one else did. But then obviously Jim McNulty's got it now, so I've got no animosity towards him, to be fair. Any bad animosity. Barnet 3, Altrincham 0. Barnet are doing very well this season. We've got them as well, so I'm not going to say too much because I'm not expecting much at the weekend. But yeah, Barnet 3-0. Bromley beat Maidenhead 4-1. Great result for Bromley. Chesterfield obviously are annoying me at the minute. I knew they'd do well, but they're really annoying me because you just see them go behind and they always manage to find a way back, don't they?
I mean, they've scored 2 90th minute goals, haven't they?
Yeah, such a shame. Dagenham as well have been doing all right. They've been on the up the last few weeks. They actually took the lead in the 39th minute, but then obviously Chesterfield do as they always do. Ryan Colclough's equalises in the 72nd minute. Then Will Grigg penalty in the 90th minute. And then Ollie Banks went and scored in the 90+6 minute.
Oh, is that Ollie Banks? Is that where he is
Ollie
now?
Banks, yeah.
I love Ollie Banks.
Good player.
Yeah. Not a known giver of fucks, Ollie Banks.
Eastleigh, obviously, not doing very well at the minute. They got beat to Gateshead 6-0. I'm just going to put it out there as well. They are possibly the worst side I have seen play this season, obviously against us. They made us look amazing. So we only won 2-0. I know. We only won 2-0, but we could have had a lot more. But Gateshead, obviously, 17th minute. It was Greg Ollie who scored the first goal, and then they went on to score again in the 25th minute. It was Dinanga, I think he's called.
It is Dinanga.
Yeah. Then 39th minute, Hunter, Dinanga again in the 45th minute, and then in the second half, Wern and Chadwick went on to obviously score another 2 goals. So they won 6-0, and Eastleigh are just shocking at the minute. But I think I mentioned it on last week's podcast. When I watched them, they just offered absolutely nothing. And Scott Quigley, who was on loan to us last season, he was at Stockport, he's been at Barrow. He just doesn't do anything. He's so lazy. And yeah, they're not very good. Bless them, Eastleigh.
Yeah, I mean, Eastleigh are funny because they for a long time, they had a lot of money.
Yeah, they
spent a lot of money, and they just haven't got it anymore. And Scott Quigley, funny enough, he was a really odd one because at Stockport for about 6 months, he looked like a world beater, and then he has just been terrible ever since.
With us, we actually got him when Bentley was in charge, and it was a loan signing, his first signing for us. And he was scoring goals for us, and he got injured in the Papa John's Trophy. And then since then, it was just awful for us. Yeah. And he didn't really play many games after that, but it teases you because you know he's got the potential, but nothing just comes of it then. So it's really frustrating. FC Halifax 1, Southend United 1.
Southend obviously got the points deduction, so they're in a bit of a false position at the moment, so that they'll start coming back up the league. I mean, it's an odd. Southend's a really odd one because they had no pre-season at all. The ground was closed.
Yep.
And they started the season really well, and then they get a points deduction, and you don't know what's going to happen. They could end up in the playoffs. They could end up completely bust by the end of the year.
It's sad, isn't it? Really sad times for them.
Yeah.
Really sad times. Kidderminster 1, Rochdale 1. It was
the Harriers.
It was a tale of 2 halves, really. We were absolutely shocking first half. They absolutely dominated. Louis Molden in net pulled off some really good saves and kept us in the game. And then the second half, we could have had more. We dominated. We had a lot more chances. Ethan Ebanks-Landell, our captain, scored a header from a corner, which never happens. We never score from a corner. So that's a bonus. But we had chances. We could have gone on to win, but a good point on the road. I'm just happy with getting any points in this league because I honestly thought we would struggle. And I know it's a long season, but the first month we've had, I thought we've done all right. And any Dale fan would have took that. So definitely a good point on the road.
We've got Harriet James in the Twitch chat. If you ignore the rest of Twitch chat, he's speaking some sense.
Yeah. The only one that speaks sense on Twitch, to be fair.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
including,
to be honest.
Including me and Ecxoes, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it was just a game of 2 halves, and it could have gone either way. We were absolutely awful in the first half. Absolutely awful. And then, obviously, it turned around and either our team. But I just think the thing with Dale is we are lacking a forward. Devante Rodney, I've mentioned before, he's poorly at the minute. He's having scans. I think it's X-rays on his chest and stuff, so we don't know how long he's going to be.
And he is useless as well.
Do you know what? He's actually, last season, I know we went down, he scored some goals, but he's been actually all right for us, Devante Rodney. One person who I'm not really sure who to deal with at the minute is Cairo Mitchell from Notts County last season.
Yeah.
he's got a lot of potential, but I just don't know what's going on. I'm
Look
froze.
what Harry's actually pronounced.
Go on. Ecxoes, I think he's called. He's got some potential in. He was injured and he's just come back, but he looks quite good.
That was
he's a
better.
winger.
That was better pronunciation than when you said Bentley.
I know.
Bentley.
Bentley.
But
yeah, I think Rochdale's season, I don't know what to expect of that. I'd be happy with mid-table, to be honest, and just being safe.
Really?
Honestly,
no,
honestly,
so it really is.
the seasons we've had and just losing players, and obviously it's a very young squad now. I would be happy with that, honestly.
You'd be happy to just finish above Dorking.
I would, and Oldham. Obviously.
Yeah, and there was an interesting comment saying that Oldham needs to sack their managers because they're not going to. It's David Unsworth, isn't it?
It's
awful.
It's
David Unsworth. Yeah, he is awful.
An awful manager.
He's awful. 0-0. Oldham 0, Dorking 0.
Let's not talk about that one.
Yeah. I do know an Oldham fan, and she said it was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, same. I've heard that.
And good. Fuck them.
Oxford City 5, Hartlepool 2. I mentioned on last week's podcast, actually, Oxford City, when we played them, they were awful, but then obviously they've been picking up some results. They've been playing really good attacking football. I don't really know what to expect of them.
You don't have to expect
very strange
Hartlepool either, because Hartlepool is sitting fourth.
Yeah.
And had they won, they'd have been second or third.
Do you think their pitch makes a difference? I see the Hartlepool manager was having a moan about the artificial surface.
I think so.
It does make a big difference. So when Tranmere were down there, Steve McNulty couldn't play on those artificial surfaces because of injuries in his knees.
Yeah,
so like players can't play on it especially if they're older, and it's really difficult because you pick up all sorts of knee problems and ankle injuries and things. It does make a big difference.
And I think Oxford City haven't got much to lose this year, really.
No,
Oxford. It's their first time in the national, and it's the highest they've ever been. They've got nothing to lose, and they're picking up some good results as well.
Yeah,
definitely, completely agree.
Better than Oxford United.
Yeah. Wealdstone 2, Ebbsfleet 1. Either way, again, I didn't know what to expect for that game because Ebbsfleet are obviously doing well at the minute, and they're up there. Strange, both of them are strange teams. Woking 1, Solihull Moors 1. Solihull Moors have been doing really well this season. I think they'll be up there this season. They tend to be around and about, don't they?
Yeah, they are there. But again, they've got a lot of money behind them. So
100% agree. York City 2, Boreham Wood 2 as well. They've obviously got a new manager now, York City. They've bought a lot of players this season, haven't they?
It's going to take some time for them to gel, I think.
Completely agree.
Spent a lot of money. Two players in that squad.
They have.
And is it Woodyard? I think they got from Wimbledon as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Woodyard is a good player because we had him on loan and he was brilliant for us.
They got Deepo Ekinyemi as well from Ayr in Scotland. Scored 23 goals for Ayr in the Championship last season. We didn't want to pay 250 grand for him for a guy who's never proven in Football League, so he went to York instead.
They're a big club.
They're
a big club, and they've again languishing down there for a number of seasons. You look at that division as well. You look at the ex-league teams. You got Southend, York, Kidderminster ex-league, Oldham, Aldershot, Dagenham and Redbridge, Rochdale, Halifax, Hartlepool, Chesterfield, Barnet. Most of them have been in the Football League recently.
Yeah.
What you say about York is that York's one of those clubs where it's got actually quite a massive. You think, it's Yorkshire, it's not, but they've got quite a big catchment area, haven't they?
Yeah, and they've got they have a decent fan base, and they've got a brand new stadium as well.
Yeah,
stadium's really nice. To be fair, it's really nice.
Yeah, it is. Very strange. It is a very weird league, though. To be fair, I didn't know what to expect in this league, but it's a very strange league.
Yeah, but it's good. It's very similar to League Two, isn't it? All the teams are quite equal. It's an equal league. It's good to see Barnet back at the top there. They've had a couple of seasons where they were really struggling in the National League, and I think like they've actually had a bit of a program, a bit of a project here. So for last season, I think they were in the playoffs last year, and then they've actually kept a lot of their first team squad, and then they've just brought in quality to back it up. So they've actually got squad depth for once, and that's what they've said been really keen on. And it's good to see Barnet doing well. I see them more as a League Two club, and maybe flirting with a League One, a season in League One or so on.
And they got the new ground as well. You know.
Yeah, they have.
Have you been to any away games yet, Char?
I haven't. No.
Listen, it's an experience. Go to some away games. I drove from Belfast to Boreham Wood when we were down there, and it snowed, and it was 0-0. The game was horrendous, and there was more Tranmere fans in the away end than there was in the whole ground. And all we did was give the manager abuse the whole game.
I love it. The way I work as well, I have to work so many weekends, so I try and get the ones where I can go to obviously the home matches and stuff. So it's hard at the minute getting to the away ones, but I definitely want to do some away games.
No, some of the grounds have really got great character and stuff. I mean, you go to Woking, you're like, why Woking got a ground like this, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You go Gateshead's bizarre. You got Weldstone down there, Bromley.
Isn't Gateshead the stadium where you sit about 3 miles from the pitch?
Yeah. You're sitting in Newcastle when you go to Gateshead.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. You got the Tyne running between you as you watch the game.
Yeah. If the ball goes out the stand, you never get it back. There's some great little grounds to go to. You obviously go to Oldham.
Yeah, definitely.
Around the corner for you.
Definitely. Halifax as well.
Yeah, rip up the seat while you're old.
Oh, funny. As we mentioned, Barnet are top, obviously on 19 points. I'm hoping their run won't continue because we do have them at home on Saturday. It's going to be a very tough game for us, and we're better away this season than we are at home. So, I don't know what to expect. Second place, we have Chesterfield, also on 19 points. Third place, we have Solihull Moors on 16 points. Then the playoffs are Hartlepool on 15 points, FC Halifax then on 13 points, Gateshead and Ebbsfleet both on 12. And then in the relegation zone, we have Dorking on 6 points, AFC Fylde on 5 points, York City on 4 points, and Southend United, unfortunately, with their point deduction on 3 points. And that's the end of the show, guys. That was a quick one.
We don't do the National League North and South, no?
No, not yet. Not this
We only do
anyway.
the conference because Rochdale's in it.
I know, that's why. That's why. But thank you so much for talking football with me, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Scoops, if people want to speak to you or find more of your content, where can they find you?
Crime Watch.
Craigslist.
That's you.
I was going to say, yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Now you can find me over on Twitch at Scoops FM, where we play Football Manager, and I try to be a failed DJ, Reese, as well, just so to see your comments as well. And I won't rap tonight. This is my night off. Bit of a chesty cough, so I won't rap for you tonight. But yeah, or you can find me on Twitter at Scoops FM as well. So make sure you drop him.
Nick, if anybody wants to find a bit more Nick in their lives, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter or X or whatever it's called nowadays. Ocus_road. You'll get me on there. And also I do the Fools Rush In podcast on a Monday and a Friday. So a good bunch of fools if you want to have a watch of that, 9 o'clock live.
I agree. I completely agree with that. I'm not a Swindon fan, but I love watching the show. Great bunch of great
guys. Cheers, Shaw.
Guys. Ecxoes, where can anybody find you?
Pornography.
No, I knew it.
I need a wee as well. I'm going to end up wee.
Whoa. I'm not into that kind of pornography.
No.
No, I'm over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ecxoes. I play Football Manager and talk absolute shite, which is what I've done here tonight. I've made you laugh, so there you go. But yeah, you get or on X. I think I don't know what it's Ecxoes Gaming, I think it is, and I only ever tweet when I'm annoyed with Tranmere. So
love it. And I don't know if anybody would, but if anybody wants to find me, I am SharXRAFC. That's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok. I'm on Threads as well, but I don't know what I'm doing on that. If you want to check out my Rochdale Her Game 2 stuff, it's Rochdale HGT, and that's on all the same socials. And if you want to follow the podcast and keep up to date with the content, you can find us. We're all different, so please bear with me. You can find us on Twitter. That is Absolute Ball Pod. YouTube is Absolute Football Podcast. The same on Twitch. Absolute Football Pod on TikTok. Absolute Football Podcast _ on Threads and Instagram. The Absolute Football Podcast as well on Facebook. You can catch our lower league show every Thursday at 8:30. And also on Monday, you can catch our Premier League show, which I will be on again this week as well with Sam, with Hannah, and with Lucas as well, I think. So definitely check that out. But thank you to everybody that spoke football with us in the chat. Every week, you honestly make it. And yeah, have a lovely evening and ta-ta for now. Bye.
Cheers, folks.
Bye all.